I am just leaving Infinity Wars and credits rolled and everyone was screaming and crying. Hello everyone and welcome to my spoilers review of Infinity Wars. I just wanted to shout out my Disney park memories, the trivia champions for my first weekly Disney trivia contest. It will be running on a live stream on my channel, 8 p.m. Alberta, Canada time. I just got back from seeing Infinity Wars, the movie where Chris, Robert, Benedict, and a whole bunch of other dudes rock the show. It is the craziest family reunion you have ever seen in the Marvel universe. Alright, so disclaimer, this is not spoiler free. There will be spoilers, and I did not see Black Panther, so I've seen all the other movies leading up to this finale except for Black Panther, so there is some gaps in my knowledge. Moving right along. Three things I loved about Infinity War, three things I hated about Infinity War. Here we go. First thing I loved about Infinity War. It's very satisfying when you can check everyone off your list. It's like when you're holding a party and everyone's in attendance. Except for Hawkeye and Ant-Man, apparently. It's like you got your Spider-Man, you got your Iron Man, you got your War Machine, you got your Hulk Buster, you've got your Bruce Banner, Thor, Guardians of the Galaxy, you know, you've got your Groot, you've got your Gamora, you've got your Starlord, you've got your Drax, you've got your Creature, you've got Thanos, you've got Gamora, you've got Gamora's sister, oh my gosh. I am a robot. You've got everybody. You've got Benedict Cumberbatch, like Sherlock Holmes is in this movie. I mean, Doctor Strange. You've got Spider-Man. Everyone is here. Best family reunion ever. Second thing I loved about Infinity Wars. Spider-Man stows away early on in the film, and he's actually useful, funny, and not whiny. He saves people's lives. He doesn't screw up majorly. When does that ever happen, that your obnoxious stowaway doesn't have a, and then I messed up moment? He actually does everything perfectly, and has a very, very tragic end. Oh. The story arc for Peter Parker was a thing of beauty. Thing number 3 I loved about Infinity Wars. You can see when all these different storylines are converging, where you have magic, where you have tech, and where you have mysticism kind of all coming together. So it seems like there is magic, there's technology, there's mysticism, and a couple other things. But they all come together in this film, and somehow the themes don't clash. There's a great big battle scene in Wakanda, and it felt so much to me like the battle scene in the Two Towers. You know, just forces of orcs or space monsters coming in and attacking, and our heroes keep fighting, and there's some pretty cool CGI fighting moves, and they manage to ward off the bad dudes. But what? Space monster mutant things from outer space? And then, you know, we've got technology, Hulk monsters, and we've got like the god of thunder. Well, I guess Scarlet Witch is better because she's kind of like using forces of telekinesis to control the situation, move matter around, boom. Yeah, it's just, you're using a lot of different kinds of tropes, or a lot of kind of different ways of dealing with bad guys. And we're like, yeah, that's cool. And you know, Thanos, he comes in and he definitely kicks butt. There's no stopping Thanos. Thanos is gonna win. There is no hope for the good guys. Anyways, that brings me to the 3 things I did not like about Infinity Wars. Okay, so the first thing I didn't like about Infinity Wars, right out the gate, you have a very strong sense that this is a no-win situation for anyone. By the end of the credits, Everyone in the theater was screaming or crying. If there is not an Infinity Wars 2, the fans are going to be mad. Yeah, so this No Hope film doesn't end well. Not for our good guys. Not for much of the species of the universe. It's pretty bad times. All right. The second thing I hated about Infinity Wars. Poor Starlord, poor Chris Pratt. Basically, his decisions, two of his decisions at the climax, mean that it's all over. So the Avengers, they got everything under control with the Guardians. They had a plan, they were executing, and it was looking kind of bright for a second. But because Starlord has his masculine testosterone and emotion depicted so comically, there's no way. Like, he completely screws up twice in a row, and that's the end. The end as we know it. Alright, the third thing I didn't like. Now, I get it. This comes from comic books. But the entire time, we were cutting between panels and storylines, right? So, we're on Earth. No. We're on the Asgard spaceship. No. We're flying in outer space on a giant space donut. No. We're with Guardians of the Galaxy. It's like, okay. It felt like when you're reading an Archie comic, and you're just reading, and you're on the main storyline, and then all of a sudden you have to read like a Josie and the Pussycat side plot. It's like 2 pages. Except you can't skip it and get to the main plot. You have to read it when you're in the theater for 2 hours and 40 minutes, which is a long time. So, you know, it's a long movie, and they keep jumping back and forth. I understand all the pieces weave together to make one coherent plot line, but it was a little bit tiring. Benedict Cumberbatch and Robert Downey Jr. both steal the show in their own right, and I felt like their chemistry on screen together was very limited. Robert Downey Jr. and Benedict Cumberbatch, I feel like, didn't have any interest in being playful about their characters' mutual dislike. Like, I felt like it was a very stiff relationship, and that was kind of the easy way out. I don't know. It didn't feel like the resolution of that relationship was rewarding at all. It kind of fizzled for me. They didn't build anything there. And as always, the superhero's reaction to pain is so, like, whatever. No big deal. And you have to feel so bad for Tony Stark's fiancée. I mean, poor Gwyneth Paltrow does not get a break. We don't want to be Pepper Potts in this universe. It does not work out. On that note, so there's some things I liked about it. There's some things I did not like about it. Should you go see Infinity Wars? I would say if you have seen 70% of the films leading up to it, then there will be a lot for you here, including Chris Pratt fat jokes. If you haven't seen 70% of the movies leading up to it, go out and see them, especially SpiderMan Homecoming, because you will quite appreciate where they go with the character. That was a very good storyline they developed and followed through with. What else can I tell you? I mean, Thanos and Gamora, they kind of had a more interesting thing than you would think. Gamora and Starlord kind of ruined the entire universe. The cosmos are messed up because of the Guardians of the Galaxy. And, you know, Loki, he's there and then he's not. I mean, like, Tom Hiddleston, were you just taking too many jobs and you could only show up for one day of shooting? I don't know. I don't know what happened there, but, you know, Loki can't really be gone for good, can he? Are any of these characters really gone for good? Was that very frustrating ending actually where this all ends off? I haven't read the comic books. I've just been keeping up with the movies, so I'm sure you guys know what happens. Was it a fun movie to watch? Yes. Would I watch it again? No. Same reason why I wouldn't watch Rogue One again. Everyone is so ready to just call it done. I don't know. I'm happy to go for a jaunt and hang out with some characters. I don't want it to be over. Anyways, that's fine. Please take a moment to like this video, to comment on this video. You can even dislike the video if you want. I mean, it's up to you. But take the time to do something because you sat through this and you deserve it. You have earned the privilege of letting your voice be heard. Good, bad, ugly, I can handle it. I have a really nice pillow to cry into if you hurt my feelings. I only have one. Alright, and if you subscribe, that would be super cool. I do a live stream every Thursday night, 8 p.m. Alberta time, and it's a Disney trivia live stream. That will include Disney, Pixar, Star Wars, and the Disney parks especially. I'll try and feature a lot of that. So thank you guys for listening. I hope you have a wonderful day, and see you real soon. Bye.